Good morning and welcome. Welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS, with your host, Bob Pace. It's another beautiful day in Southern California. The sun's been out. Went to my 4 o'clock a.m. walk to the beach. Surf was down today. I'm broadcasting live from the west coast of California, south of Los Angeles, place called Surf City, USA, 3 blocks from the beach. I'm a water person, but I'm also a person that has a very big heart that cares about his family, cares about you guys. You guys are my family. Now, I've been on this live stream for quite some time, over 22 months, over a year and a half. And I'm here to help you with your matter with CPS. Now, I don't think you choose to be involved with CPS. I certainly didn't either. And I have something in common because I too had a case. Now, I'm not an attorney. I'm a loving father and a husband. And I have I've helped raise 6 children, 3 older ones and 3 younger ones. I'm very blessed to have children late in life and blessed to have children early in life. But my children are all growing up. My last 2 are leaving the nest very shortly. They're 19 and 25, almost 26, and almost 20. The other 4 have been away from me some time. They left our family when one was 25 years of age. My firstborn has been lost for 33 years, meaning I've not seen her since she was 3 years old. She's 36 now. And my youngest daughter, who was 12 at the time when we were caught up with CPS, wants nothing to do with family because of what's happened with CPS. It's very tragic what happened to our daughter. I've lost a lot these last 15 years fighting with CPS. I lost my forever job through no fault of my own. It wasn't because of my performance or my work. It was circumstances beyond my control that you encounter sometimes in life. And being so, it's hard. It is really, 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 really hard. My oldest 2 is a boy who's in his 40s. He came to us when he was 20 years old. He wanted to reunite with his mother. And so we had a relationship for a while, but then CPS came along and my wife's other child that I adopted at age 6 have 2 joined him and not really being part of the family. The CPS has taken a toll on me. Since being involved in CPS, I've lost both of my parents. I lost my 2 Siberian Huskies and lost my one sister, and I'm estranged from the other sister, which is sad. Now, I'm not here to talk about me as much as I want to talk about you. And who do I see? Erin. Erin's special because she has the name of my firstborn. Hi, Erin, and welcome, Erin, from Tennessee. And she has a question for me. Guess what Department of Children's Service just did to me now? I have no idea. They've been so bad to you. I mean, they took away your termination of your parental rights. What'd they do? What did they do? What did they do? Uh, Hi, Dorothy Cook. You're in there. You're in the room. I didn't know you were in the room. Welcome, Dorothy Cook from North Carolina, who's my wonderful mom who does a lot of narration for my room. Glad to see you, Dorothy Cook. Aaron is telling us about something they did, and I have no idea what they did. They took away her termination of her parental rights. I knew that. But I can't imagine. Maybe they returned your child, Aaron, or they felt so bad they want to come over and help clean your floors. You're a hardworking woman, Aaron. I had scheduled my visit with my son. I get here for my visit, and my son isn't here. Someone says she got to give me a drug screen before I can see him, and they haven't even left the foster home. What do you mean you have a drug screen? They are really trying to take advantage of the situation there. Have you been testing before? And have all the tests been negative? Were you originally accused of doing drugs? Was that part of the deal? I'm so sorry to hear that. I am so sorry to hear that. Today is Friday, August 8th, and we have two people in my room. And Aaron just told me that they have refused visitation with her child, that she needs to first take a drug screening. Now, I don't understand why that was unannounced. That's sad. That is so sad, Aaron. So your visitation isn't at the foster home? Your visitation, where's your visitation at? And who is bringing your child? Who's bringing your child? And Dorothy, I'm so glad you're here to be here because you're a beautiful person. You really enlighten me. And right now we have three hearts: Dorothy Cook, Donna Yancey, and Melody McKenzie. Thank you for the warm hearts. I love them. And then we have two thumbs up from Melanie and Donna. Thank you all for the emojis. Those are sweet. That is sweet. I need to put up the banner about how to do messages on my live stream. There it is. I don't need to read it for you. It's there. You can read it. Oh, you do it at the Department of Children's Service Office. That's, oh, brother. Now, what about this test, this drug screening test you have to do? Why is that necessary? She always gives you a test. Who's she? The social worker? How you know the social worker is trained to do tests? Is she a clinical psychiatrist? Okay, Aaron. All right. What page is frozen, Dorothy? Now, my banner says list the country, but if you're in the United States, you don't have to list the country. That's for people outside of the United States. I have 22 countries that have called in or have problems with CPS. So far, I've talked to Indonesia, Bangladesh, and India. Then up in the Middle East to Saudi Arabia and Libya. Then in the continent of Africa, talked to Liberia, Sudan, Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Mozambique, and then the provinces of South Africa. Then up to Europe, United Kingdom, England, Scotland, and Wales. And then Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond to North America, Canada and its provinces. The United States and all 50 states have called in. Even the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. Then south of border, Mexico. Then further south in South America, north of Brazil on the East Coast, Grenada. Then across the South Pacific, New Zealand, and then the land down under Australia and its states. That's over 2,500 people I've talked to. And as I said, I do this twice a day. My morning show is Fight CPS with Bob Pace, and it's on at 10 o'clock Monday through Friday. On the weekends, I come on at 8 o'clock in the morning, a little bit early, 8 o'clock Saturday and Sunday. I'm on at night at 7 p.m. every night of the week, all 7 days. Uh, but Aaron, I don't want to disturb your visitations with your son. Oh boy. It gets so hard sometimes. So hard. Another way to interact with this live stream is to be a guest on my live stream. All you have to do is write our show producer an email. That's Grace. It's a banner on the screen right now. Send it to her email address with one of the 14 show times you want to be on. All you do is say, I want Bob's Sunday morning show, a Bob's Friday night show, or Bob Wednesday morning show, or Monday night, morning or night. That's all you have to say, and Monday through Sunday. And when she gets your email, she will give you a link, and then you just copy and paste it in your browser, and then you're on. If you bounce off, then put the link again, and you'll be on. It's good for the whole show. There's some simple rules, like no profanity. We do not eat or smoke on the live stream, and we do not use the names of judges, social workers, or your children. She'll help you with your settings and everything, and it's easy. Now, I can take 9 of you. With me makes 10. 10 is the maximum that this software application does. Now, I'm broadcasting on StreamYard, and it uses YouTube to transmit. Ugh. Oh boy. Now I'm going to put up my phone number so you can call in. I'm at 626-698-0990. I love to hear from you. Not only text me messages or be a guest on my live stream, but you can call in. And let me make sure my phone number is set up because I use a internet program to do my phone calling.
Start off with an so welcome. My name's talking about the business screen board and so welcome.
Okay. Let me see here. We got some more messages here. Okay. Aaron is going back home. I guess her visitation is going to be later, I guess. Hello, MK Light. What state do you practice in, Bob? I'm not a lawyer, but thank you for your compliment. I'm a loving father and a husband, and I've raised 6 children, and I have 42 years of marriage and 61 years of working. And I have a lot of life experiences I can share with you. I'm right now located in Southern California, south of Los Angeles, on the West Coast at a place called Surf City, 3 blocks from the ocean. And Dorothy says, Mr. Bob, who is the 1983 Act complaint filed to? Let me pull it up again. 1983 Act. I think that, well, see what it is. That is called the Civil Action for Deprivation of Rights. It's Federal Code 42 U.S.C. USC. It's for the it deals with civil action for deprivation of your rights. Every person who, under color of any statute, ordinance, regulation, custom, or usage of any state or territory or the District of Columbia, subjects or causes to be subject any citizen of the United States or other person within the jurisdiction thereof to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured by the constitutional laws. Said liability to the party injured in action at lawsuit. Basically, if your civil rights are being violated, you can file a civil action suit against the federal government. And that's true in every state, territory, including the District of Columbia. So if your rights are deprived in your constitutional rights or your civil rights, you can file that lawsuit. Okay. Let's go back in here. MK Light, what part of the world are you from? I do hope to speak to you. My phone number's up. It was up. Now my phone number's down. I'm going to put it back up again. I have no idea why it was taken down. Don't panic, MK Light. I will try to help you. I'm here to help you. Oh, you're in Utah. I'm sorry I did not see the UT. Welcome, MK Light from Utah. And my number's up. You can call me if you like. You can call me. I know you're at a loss. You can start with telling me your story. How many children involved? Start with the knock at the door, how you let them into your home, or if you did let them in, or if you talked to them, or you let them take your children. There's a lot of things you don't know. And I can tell you, I have 5 rules here that will help you. Rule number 1, you do not use the court-appointed attorney. That's a trickster by CPS. You use your attorney that you find yourself. Now, financially, that's going to be hard. And as I tell most people, you need to have legal insurance. Yes, insurance will pay for the retainer. And there is legal insurance out there. There is legal insurance. You just have to shop around for a quote. It's anywhere from 50 cents to $1 a day.
MRE Financial Services, Inc. This call is from a debt collector. Please call 833-353-0291. Oh. Hello.
Okay. That's that legal insurance I was talking about. It can be as cheap as 50 cents a day, a couple $100 premium. But that's rule number 1. You need that attorney to be schooled, licensed, and educated, or educated and licensed, and been practicing in the areas of juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. Those 3 areas of law is what CPS is involved in. And you need to have that experienced attorney working for you. Rule 2 is documentation and more documentation. Organize all your paperwork in a big 3-ring binder. Use subject tabs to organize it. And then come up with 2 important documents. One is called the journal, which is the day-to-day you write since your CPS case started, and you should write it to your children because they need to know what's going on, especially if they're young and they grow up. I'll also help you write it to keep track of things. You don't have to give specific details, just write your thoughts and feelings. The other important documentation that you can create is called the timeline incident log. It's a collection of timeline of events that have happened with CPS, the police, the school, your children, whatever the case may be related to it. And it involves 3 lines per incident on a sheet of notebook paper. Your first line is going to be the phone number if it involves something on the phone, or the address of the place you visit or where it came to. Then it has to have the date, the time, and the people involved. Your second line will be a summary of what the incident was about. And your third line is the summary of the incident, a summary of conclusion of the incident. If it's still open, leave it blank and come back later when it's done and you can fill it out. So every incident will be categorized on this sheet of paper, arranged with the earliest one first. So that way you can look things up, because 6 months from now, you won't remember anything. But you need to keep track of all your paperwork and organize it. Court appearance, court documents, social workers' documents, the case plan, your drug tests, your class certificates, your parenting class certificates, your program certificates, your medical records, those kinds of things there you can put in there. Then rule 3 is what you don't want to do around social workers or police. You don't talk to them, and you certainly don't let them in your home. If you encounter them outside, ask them very nicely when they approach you. If they talk to you, you can ask them, is this regarding a legal matter? If they say yes, then you say, well, I cannot go much further because I need to have my attorney present. It's my civil rights. My attorney needs to be present. I will contact my attorney and set up a time to meet with you. Please give me your name and phone number. That's all you have to do. That gets them off your back. You don't have to talk to them that day. You don't want to let them in your home. Your home is your castle. Your door is a drawbridge. Once the drawbridge is up, your castle is secured. You don't let anybody in your home that you don't know. You tell your family members not to open the door unless they know the person. You don't know who's going to be at that door. And those don't know people have been people that have been shot at. And the police on the door have shot and killed somebody. Or it could be a social worker trying to intimidate their way into your home. If it's a legal matter, you don't have to speak to them. You don't have to, you just say very nicely, I'll get back to you. That's all you have to tell. I'll get back to you. Dorothy has a good question. She says, is there a website that reveals how many social workers have had their own child or children removed? Well, let me see if I can find it. Well, I didn't find what you're asking for, Dorothy, but I found something close. The grand jury reported highlighted staffing budget concerns within the Kern County Child Protection Services. Kern County is in California, and one of my family members, who is called Margaret King, has a case in Kern County. It says the April report shows CPS is underfunded, understaffed, and it has a high turnover rate. Of course, Bakersfield, California is a city near there. There's a quick little. That is sad. That is sad. Um, that's all I found, Dorothy. In Bakersfield, California, we have the Kern County that's being investigated. As far as a website, I'm not seeing anything on the internet about a website keeping track of social workers. It's bad enough keeping track of parents being taken away. So, well, I knew that there was a CPS employee that was indicted for embezzling $400,000 of the $1 million unaccounted for in Kentucky, but I don't not heard about this other one. The Department of the former employee guilty of stealing 1.4. Wow. Well, the first thing that came up was a postal worker stealing 1.6 million. Wow. Oh, here it is. Um, Here it is. It happened. A former CPS principal who pleaded guilty to overtime fraud found dead. A former DS player found guilty of stealing from a child. Well, there was a social worker in South Dakota, Dorothy, that was tried and convicted of stealing $1.4 million that was earmarked for items for children to buy. And she somehow did it. She has remorse. The penalty for doing that stealing is 40 years, whether she'll get the 40 years or not. But I further saw a video where I think she died. See what it says here. Wow. The person that killed herself was a principal that was something separate, something about illegally funds of time cards and people and stuff. And anyway, it's sad. Now, this lady reported that CPS is bad to CPS. You don't call CPS. I agree there. But you should call 911 because there'll be an honest record. Now, you can call the state police, not the local police, but the state police, if you suspect that. You also can call the FBI. So state police, FBI, and I'd even call Doge. I think that one in Hughes County was Illinois. I'm not mistaken. Dorothy. There's another number on the screen that I haven't really referenced about. 888-6582. That is the number of the law offices of Vincent W. Davis. Now, we were talking about one of my rules is get an attorney. He's that attorney you should try to get. You should always get 3 quotes. One of them should be Mr. Davis. Now, his hourly rate is $500 an hour. His retainer for Los Angeles County is $5,000. But you have to tell what kind of case you got, how long it's been going, and the complexity before you get a firm number. But Mr. Davis has been fighting for 39 years and gotten back thousands of children back. Not only is he licensed in the area of juvenile law, family law, and dependency law, he's a trial attorney. He's also a civil rights attorney. If your constitutional civil rights were violated He will sue. He does civil lawsuits against CPS. Once your case is over, he's won millions of dollars back. So he's the real deal. All you have to do is get references from him, meet him, and talk to him and see if the chemistry is right. Then all you have to do is get 2 other attorneys so you can get the best attorney to work for you. Now, I was talking about rule number 3 about having the drawbridge up and the door closed. Be quiet if the police or the social service are at the front door. You don't have to open it to them. There's only 3 ways they're going to come in. 1, if you or a family member opens the door and gives permission. 2, if they hear loud noises and a child being harmed, they will break in. And 3, if they have a warrant, they can show you the warrant and muscle their way into your home, but they got to have a warrant. It's got to be a true warrant. There's too many bogus warrants out there. Too many. Now, that number I was telling you about, the 888-888-6582, is the office of Mr. Davis. And if you want to hire him, talk to him, you can call him. When you do call that number, you'll get reception, and then you have to wait to availability with Mr. Davis. But when you call in, tell him that Bob Pace sent you. And when you speak to Mr. Davis, tell him that Bob Pace sent you. So that's the number there besides my number. So that's really important that you're careful with the people you talk to. CASA or the guardian ad litem are bad people. You don't want to, and so is public defenders. The worst thing you can do is have a CASA person because their ears for CPS. So is the guardian ad litem. Ombudsperson are just as bad. You know, not having an attorney to defend you is a lot of mistakes that I've made. That's probably the number 1 mistake I've made all my life. Because I didn't think myself. Like when I lost my job, I could have hired an attorney, and I should have. There's nothing I did wrong. I don't know why. The same thing is when CPS attacked me, I should have gotten an attorney involved. That's the number 1 mistake we made with all the legal matters. I know that I'm going to have legal insurance in the future. So if I have an incident come up, I'll be able to get an attorney. It's terrible. It's terrible out there. You're right about the guardian of ad litems, their ears. So are the CASA. So are the CASA. It is one of the biggest mistakes because we don't do it because we don't think about it. We think it cannot happen. Your son or daughter at 15 gets caught up in a DUI, driving underneath the influence. You need an attorney. You can't fight it yourself. You see, I had to sell my home, my forever home, that took 45 years to buy because I needed some quick cash. But what it did is eliminate the home that my family had grown up in. All my children. The home is gone. It was only from a mile to the beach. Had a walk-in rock pool, swimming pool with a hidden grotto. Had an English garden on one side with all kinds of fruit trees. It had a tropical background in the back around the pool area, and then it had a dog run on the other side. That was more from my neighbor. I was more than 5 feet. I actually had almost 30 feet between me and my neighbor's walls, 15-foot setbacks. I had no one behind me except a high highway. That was the only downside about living there, was the road noise. But I had 2 waterfalls that drowned out the noise. But it was a home. And I really, it's like the mistakes I made, I should have had legal insurance. Because if I had legal insurance, I could have gotten Mr. Davis right away and never lost my youngest daughter. That was a tragedy itself when the social worker was caught committing perjury in court and then retaliated against the parents and said, "You'll never see your daughter again." And there she instructed our daughter at 12 that she can emancipate from the parents, from the family. Change her name, seal her birth certificate, get a new birth certificate, a second social security card where she can double dip from her retirement. I could go on and on. It's a tragic. It is so tragic of how bad my case was. That's why I try to share you these 5 rules. Rule 1, you got to get a real attorney. Rule 2 is documentation, documentation, documentation. Rule 3 is that you do not talk to social workers unless you have your attorney present. And you also got to watch what latest is called medical trafficking. It's where the social workers are like vultures hanging out in the ER room of the hospital or the urgent care, listening, trying to catch parents making mistakes or whatever the case would be. Several weeks ago, I helped out a parent who the social worker ordered that her appendix be removed from a child. It was charging the parents with medical neglect. But the doctor made a wrong diagnosis, and the social worker is not a doctor. She didn't have an appendix, she had a gallstone. And that confusion led to the appendix being removed and the 4-month-old child being traumatized again. It was terrible. It was terrible to lose my daughter. Social workers are not your friend. All you have to do is look at the 8 social workers in Prescott, Arizona that bought pink t-shirts and stenciled on the front. We're professional child kidnappers on the back. Parents, do you know where your child is? There's sick people in social work. I met them in my Orange County CPS, the Child Protection System, is very corrupt. And the director and the supervisors and all the people down the chain, all very, very, very corrupt. So you're dealing with corrupt agencies. That's why I'm preparing these rules. I have 5 of them. My other 2 rules, Rule 4 deals with how to search things on the internet. Try to start off with city, state, and if you're from outside the United States, put country. Then put the letters CPS in capital letters. Then type a question about what you want to know within CPS, and you'd be surprised what comes up. And you should spend hundreds of hours on the internet. You should spend hundreds of times. And rule 5 is make a copy of every important document you have. Make copies. Put all the copies in one envelope. Marriage license, your birth certificate, your children's birth certificate, your children's grade reports, your children's medical records, your medical records. All those important documents, driver's license, things like that. You make all the copies and stick it in an envelope and you hang on to it because social workers will come up with, "Oh, you're the presumed father." "No, I am the biological father. Here it shows my name on the birth certificate. Here's my driver's license." And in California, it's a C license, meaning that it is exactly who you are, a California resident. Hi, Cruella. I missed you. How's it going? Was that lead I gave you to the trash dump any helpful to get some of your belongings back? Cruella is from Oxnard, California. She has a case in Ventura, California. She's trying to get her life back together. Her stepbrother evicted from her home using a commissioner instead of a judge with false pretenses. She was caregiving of her mom. She lived in that home, but they evicted her out. So she had an eviction case in Oxnard and a CPS case in Ventura County. And it's her stepdad's taking her babies. I'm glad to see you here, Cruella. I'm so glad. And thank you, Dorothy, for your blessing. So those are my 5 rules. I've talked to them in depth on a lot of my live streams that you can watch. Now, no one's called in, and my time is up because it's 11:12. It's 12 minutes after the hour. I've already been talking for 1 hour and 2 minutes, so it's time for me to go. Cruella, you came in at the close of my show. And you're in California, so you know the time. But anyway, I'm glad you came in, Cruella. Dorothy, I cannot say how happy I am to have you here, being very supportive and help me out with this live stream. Dorothy's from North Carolina, a beautiful person. She loves helping people in the room. Cruella is another beautiful person from Oxnard, California. Thank you that you're here too. Let me see who else. We had a new person today. We had MK Light from Utah, and she has a terrible case of losses. I have no idea what it is, but I hope to see you again, MK Light. And I hope to be able to help you. And Aaron, I know you left to go home. You may not be back now, but anyway, it was good talking to you, Aaron from Tennessee. They screwed up her visitation today, insisted on a drug test, but they weren't even leaving the house. So, Aaron, my prayers are out to you. You've suffered so much. To the rest of you, thank you for being part of my family. But I do have to go. But I'll be on again tonight at 7 p.m. Please do not stop fighting for your child or get your family together. It's so important that you not give up. Come here for support. There'll be a brief video at the conclusion of my show, but I must go. So I'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a great day.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted, and if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last one.